An incredible story that could have very easily turned tragic. The OPP pulling over an SUV earlier this morning, and behind the wheel, a 12-year-old boy. Tonight, Catherine McDonald is speaking with the boy's father. And Catherine, Dad thinks this could be connected to the pandemic?
Yes, that's right, Alan. The boy has been very isolated for the last 6 months due to COVID-19, and his father thinks that could be why he wanted his freedom. Tonight, the family is back together again, and Dad says he's going to keep the communication lines open rather than punishing his son, because he says his child has never done anything like this before.
We're just fortunate it wasn't a tragedy, because that's what it could have been.
The father of a 12-year-old boy who took the key to the family SUV and went on a 90-minute joyride in the middle of the night says he had no idea anything was wrong until 4 a.m. when he was awakened by a knock at his door.
And there was police at the front door. And, I just thought, oh my God, something terrible had happened because the car's gone and one of my kids.
This video, obtained exclusively by Global News, shows a burgundy Hyundai Santa Fe driving up and down a North Toronto road around 1:40 a.m. Toronto police say that's around the time they got a number of calls for a suspected impaired driver in the area.
By what the complainant was describing as a small person or possibly a young person, as the car's driver's seat was pushed all the way up.
The Ontario Provincial Police says the SUV was spotted 2 more times by callers who reported seeing someone driving erratically, and another driver who saw the SUV on Highway 401. That caller followed the boy all the way down Highway 427 until Toronto Police and the OPP were safely able to pull the vehicle over on another major highway. The father says except for the fact his car keys were missing, his son seemed fine on Monday night. What happened last night that might have precipitated this?
Not really. This boy has been a good, well-behaved boy.
The boy's father says his son has never been in trouble before. Tell me about when he came home. How was he?
He was shocked. Look what he went through. He drove a car for the first time in his life on the highway, pulled over by the police, in the back of a police car.
In fact, he says his son has never driven a car before.
It's amazing, and he went through about a quarter tank of gas.
So what could have caused a good boy to suddenly steal his father's car?
To be quite frank, I think a lot of it's the COVID-19, being in the house.
The OPP say they don't plan to lay charges. The father is grateful to police and everyone who called in.
Unless you're up all night, how do you know? My daughter wants me to get cameras and set alarms and stuff like that. Maybe that's what I got to do.
And I asked the father, was the seat on the SUV close to the steering wheel? He said it wasn't, but he said that the seat was more than upright. And while he says his son has never driven a car before, he has certainly done his fair share of virtual driving. He says his son has an Xbox, he plays a lot of driving games, and just last month, for the first time, he went to a go-kart track, which undoubtedly he loved.